What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I got an extremely exciting video here. We got some new parts for the Mustang to make it even better. Let me show you what we got here. We have a new 4-inch core intercooler. It's exactly the same width, but it's 4-inch deep. It's not quite as tall, but that's going to help us in our case with flow. So 4-inch core, same length there, width, and a little bit shorter as far as height goes, which is okay because we don't have airflow to the top of ours anyway. But this should flow a lot better. It's got better tanks on it. So that should help with our restriction issue, hopefully. Then we got this guy. This is a built automatic transmission, or a Ford AOD. So this thing has a one-piece shaft in it. Also, it has a full manual valve body in it. Has a trans brake. Some other goodies in there. We got a 3000 stall converter for it with anti-balloon plates. Got a ratchet shifter there. Also, I've got this little trans cooler for now that we're gonna try and use. I got some couplers to make the intercooler work. And then I've got a flex plate that'll work with my crankshaft in my engine. Brand new. Yeah, got a bunch of cool parts, and we're gonna get to installing those and making the Mustang even better than what it is. The gear ratios in the AOD are a little bit better. First gear is a 240. I don't remember what second gear is, but I think it's like a 180 or something like that. One something. And then third gear is 1-to-1. The stick shift I have now has a 327 first gear and like a 280 or something second gear. So first gear in this transmission is going to be way better, much longer. And we'll see how it does with that. If this doesn't work out better with my 373 rear gear, we're going to end up switching rear gears probably to benefit towards the turbo. But we're going to install this and just see how it goes. You know, maybe we won't need to switch the rear gears. Maybe it likes the rear gear it's got with the automatic. So, but yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going automatic in the Mustang. I've never had an automatic Mustang. They've all been stick shifts. But stick shifts are pricey for, you know, higher horsepower stuff. So this is a step in a new direction for me. Alright, so let's talk about it a little bit. We went ahead and trimmed up the radiator support to clear for the sides of the intercooler. So both sides are trimmed. I've got this pipe that used to go through these two exhaust pipes removed. We went ahead and started making some mount spots for the new intercooler. So we got that going. And then we're gonna make sure the bumper will clear and everything like that. But besides that, we're gonna go ahead and remove this shifter and this base plate here to prep for the transmission removal. I also realized that I ordered the wrong couplers for this, so I've got to wait on that now. I got to order different couplers. Of course, I ordered the wrong stuff. Alright, so got the plate removed, got the shifter removed. We just gotta remove the transmission, I think. Although I might go ahead and remove this shifter too. Okay, I got the shifter base removed. So now the rest of the work we gotta do is up in the engine bay, remove the top two trans bolts, and then go underneath and remove stuff. Alright, so I want to talk about this a little bit because it probably looks kind of weird. This is a crash bar that we just kind of cut the center out of because we wanted it to line up with this intercooler. The intercooler is offset just slightly, and we did that because of my exhaust pipe that's right there. We wanted this to clear, so we offset it just slightly. And then also, these crash bar mounts are not exactly in the same spot on this radiator support. This one's off to the right. I guess this one's off to the right too, but you know, if it was accurate, it would be exactly on the left side. That one's on the right side. But anyway, this one's not as level. I had some issues with the bolt hole. This one is level. This one's close, but I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, I can see it, but it'll be fine. But right now I'm making some tabs that are gonna come off these bars and are gonna go around these rubber isolators right here. And those will work perfect for what I'm trying to do. This does have bottom mounts too. We'll see if I can figure out a way to make a bottom mount maybe. But so far this is pretty good, and it is up higher than the exhaust pipe is there, so I know it'll clear. The intercooler though is perfectly level. Right in between the two lines. I'm using this hammer to kind of keep it balanced. That's what I like to see. And this is kind of the idea. I'm gonna tack a couple spots for this, and then I'm going to fold that top piece over and weld this whole little tab onto here, and this intercooler can drop out of the bottom. It's got a rubber isolator right here, and then this little nut here. I need to add another spacer, it looks like, but yeah, that's the idea. Same thing on that side. See, I ground down the tube, got the rubber isolator. I made another tab for that side right here. So yeah, pretty sweet. All right, so as you just saw, the tabs got all welded up. Not gonna go up close to them because they look like hot dog shit. I'm not a professional welder at all. And I'm welding two different types of metal. This one came out okay, but it's still hot dog shit. Hot dog shit. We're just not gonna show them up close. So the intercooler will hang from that. I'm happy with that. I'll shoot some paint on those guys and I'm gonna call it a day on that one. All right, so I'm still doing some debating. The intercooler is fully mounted, and the thing I might have to do is trim these bolts because they hang too low. But that's not a big deal. But the intercooler is fully mounted. I might be putting some holes to get some more airflow to it. Put some holes with a hole saw to try and get some more airflow to the core. And then I'm considering mounting the transcooler right off this upper frame, and it's going to get airflow from right here. So I have the transcooler just kind of sitting in here. But I'm questioning the idea of doing that and mounting a transcooler here, like a big one with a fan, because I think that might be more efficient, but haven't decided yet. But overall, I'm happy with the intercooler mount. You can see the intercooler down there. plain as day. Had to trim some more of the bumper out for this intercooler because it's thicker. That looks sick. Alright guys, so I just made some brackets off camera and I got the trans cooler all mounted up, and it's very sturdy. Plenty sturdy for what I'm using it for. It's got very minimal flex, and it's got full airflow except for this little piece of harness sticking down here, but that's not too bad. It's not really covering. It's right here is the top, and then behind that's the radiator. But that's pretty sweet. And then I can have my hoses just come right, well, just one hose will come right through here, and the other hose will go right through here and into the radiator, and I'm going to utilize the trans cooler in the radiator as well, so I get optimal cooling for the transmission. I'm pretty happy with that. Some people might say that's pretty jank, but I take scraps I got around the shop and make something work, and it seems to always work out. The only time it hasn't worked out is with this intercooler over here, and to be honest, looking at it now, I can see why this thing would be a restriction. Got horrible flow characteristics. This side's literally just 90 degrees, and then the hole inside here is not even the same diameter that this pipe is. This is a intercooler off of Peterbilt that we cut down and changed the tanks on. It still has some of the old Peterbilt tanks on it, right there. So they welded caps on here, they welded caps on that. Same with here. You can see where I cut this down. So, and it did appear like there was a leak in this corner. You can see there's a little bit of oil right here. And this is where the turbo feed side is. Overall, it still made 413 horsepower with that intercooler, but it was overworking the turbo. This intercooler should be much better. Same core length, double the width. It's not quite as tall, but the tallness wasn't really helping the old one any, because it was up behind a part of the bumper that doesn't get any airflow. So this will be just fine. All right, we're gonna move to the next process. I'm going to remove this starter cable here, and I'm gonna remove this trans bolt, and that trans bolt over there, because they're pretty easy to get to from up here. A little bit harder to get to from underneath. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, so I did go ahead and save a little bit of this fluid in here for you guys. Now, this pan wasn't the cleanest when I drained into it, but that doesn't matter. There's so much glitter in here from this transmission. This is like solid glitter. Solid glitter. Pretty much the entire fluid was filled with glitter. It's doing kind of cool little stunts here and there. See, it's doing little dances. Completely full of glitter. Look at that. There's so much glitter. Alright guys, the transmission is dropped. I wanted to show you guys that it needs a rear main seal. It's leaking out of the rear main. I can tell you that because the back of this is all wet and you can see the run marks on the back. So it needs a rear main seal before I can put the new transmission in. Here's the old one. I have a video on that on my channel. I'll see if I can tag it in the video. But I installed this 2 or 3 years ago. Tremec TR3550. It's rated at 350 foot-pounds of torque. And at less than that, I've had issues with this thing leaking and gear issues and stuff like that. So this is the second fluid change I changed it once. This time I just drained it. Both times it's been sparkly, really sparkly. This thing's never wanted to stay in gear. It's never shifted good. And I'm just overall not happy with it. And with how much power I'm wanting to make, this thing is not gonna hold up. So it's off to the automatic over here. But here's the clutch I was running. This was a used clutch when I put it in the car a long time ago, like 2020. And this was in my old 95 GT. And she's finally starting to wear pretty good. It's got a little bit of life left, but probably not enough to put in another car. It's been holding up pretty good. Of course, I haven't launched it with over 300 foot-pounds of torque, so it probably would have started slipping. But I'm probably gonna call it a night. Been out here working my butt off. Trans cooler, intercooler is all mounted. Trans is removed. Before you know it, we'll be installing the new trans and getting to work. All right, so the rear main seal was leaking. We got the rear main seal removed, cleaned up, and we're gonna install the new rear main seal. All right, so I'm back. We had a few issues. Let me just take off where we left off. The rear main seal is completely installed. We got the pilot bearing removed, and the flywheel is completely installed with Loctite on the bolts. There's also lock washers. So we got that far, and then we were ready to put the torque converter in the transmission, and the torque converter would not go in the transmission. And come to find out, the torque converter we got is for a big block Ford, and we need one for a small block Ford. It has a different diameter shaft. That goes in here. So it wasn't gonna work. Now, we got this transmission from somebody I know. He has the right converter, so I just gotta wait for that. But also, I have to order some other parts to finish up our charge system. And they're just not going to be here in time for me to finish this video. So I'm just going to finish up this video here and post it up so you guys have something to watch, and I can stay consistent with my posting, because right now I'm already going over the normal amount that I would be waiting to post. But I do apologize. I wanted to make this all one video. It's just not gonna happen. We're going out of town here soon. We're going on vacay. So I'm not sure when the next video after this one will be out. I just want to take a moment to say thank you so much, guys, for all your support. It literally means the world to me. The channel has blew up since the last video, and I'm going to show you right here. Since the last video, and I'm going to show you right here that we have officially made it over 400 subscribers, and the last video skyrocketed in the last few days to over 650 views on that video, and I cannot thank you guys enough. Seriously, I don't know how far this YouTube thing's gonna go, but I hope it goes really far. I hope that this thing takes off, and you know, I do a lot of cool stuff and I just never record it, and now I've been forcing myself to post some content about my Mustang, and also all the other projects that my family has going on. That's why it's Hayward Racing YouTube channel. It's not just me, you know, it's me, my dad, my brother, my other brother. We all got cool projects, and I love posting up what we're doing, and it seems that some of you guys like watching what we're doing. So I literally cannot thank you enough. Seriously. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.